All right, Good Samaritan 65th Anniversary Message by Dave Land, take 2. Hi, I'm Dave Land. When I married Peggy in 1986, I'd been worshiping at Bethel Lutheran Church in Cupertino for about 3 years. It was my church. Well, we wanted to start off our married life in a church at a place where everyone knew us as a couple right from the start. So, on a recommendation from a coworker at HP, which was located across Wolf Road where Apple's spaceship headquarters is now, we decided to give Good Sam, or as it was sometimes called back then, Safeway Methodist, a try. See, there was a supermarket next door. And we're glad we did. Good Sam very quickly became our church home. Okay, here's a weird coincidence. Literally just last week at Wesley Church in Japantown, where I've been worshiping for about 15 years, Virginia Bailey, whom many of you will remember from her Good Sam years in the 80s and 90s, had a handful of photos from way back then. They captured an outdoor dinner in the space outside the fireside room by the parking lot. We think it was Thanksgiving, maybe 1986. It reminded me of one of the main reasons that Peggy and I stayed at Good Sam right from that first year. At the end of the dinner, everyone, and I mean everyone, pitched in to clean up and fold up the tables and put everything away. It wasn't the same 6 or 8 people who always do all the work. The dinner was for everyone, and the cleaning up afterwards was too. We loved that spirit of community and shared responsibility to each other that we found at Good Sam. Now, many of you know that I was more recently the worship leader during COVID at Good Sam. I enjoyed working with Pastor Rajiv and the Sound and Light crew to deliver a worship experience that was worthy of Good Sam, regardless of the healthy limitations of that time. See, it started out with Pastor Rajiv asking me if I'd be willing to come in and sing a couple of old hymns, more or less solo, during the remote services. But if you've ever volunteered for anything at a church, you know that's how it was that I ended up as the worship leader for about 1.5 years. Now, since then, I've come to think of myself as a singer, or if you're fancy, a vocalist. And I owe some part of that, some good part of that, to Good Sam. Good Sam has a rich musical tradition. In the 1970s and 80s, the church had a touring band called Homestead and Wolf that recorded several albums. And actually, if you count the Pharaohs, the church was home to at least 2 bands. There was a running joke at the time that the church's music was so good that someone asked, "Do you have to audition to join this church?" You didn't. One of the people who continues that musical tradition is Joe Austin. He invited me to join his band as they performed at Valco and at the church for what has become the annual Christmas sing-along. And I've been honored to be included in that show for about 30 years now. It was Joe's welcoming me into the circle of music makers that got me thinking that I might actually be a singer. Okay, a vocalist. Now I sing in the Wesley Chancel Choir, the Wesley Jazz Ensemble, the Santa Clara Chorale Community Choir, and have also sung and played with the Wesley Ukulele Band and the lefty politically oriented Resistance Chorus. I am so grateful to Good Sam and the musicians like Joe who helped me find my voice. In the end, I don't think of Good Sam as a church I used to go to. No. Good Sam is a community I belong to, even if I don't happen to worship with you on Sunday mornings. I'll always belong to Good Sam. So congratulations on your 65th anniversary and many happy returns of the day. Thanks a lot.